And now back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
This should be my radio announcer voice saying you are back on the Big Dumb Fun Show, listening to us live. We are here Mondays, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. The rest of the week, download the podcast, watch the video cast online from livestream.com, and just check us out and follow us on the MySpace, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter. Where else? We're Reverb Nation as well. We're eventful.
Right now,
we are on LinkedIn. Okay, we have more social networking sites, and we have room on our own website to post.
Right now, we are heard in every facet of Kansas City, anywhere except for the radio. Literally, you can get us anywhere on your maybe like your cable TV may not have. May not have that channel where we can go through that yet.
Actually, there is a
but
Big
just
Dumb Fun
damn
Show
near
channel.
anywhere. We are just everywhere. And right now, we did have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Blank, who just told us that she's in The Victim, and she's got a nude scene, and it's going to be on the big screen.
I don't think she said that. I think she said that there wasn't a nude scene, but there was a sex scene.
Oh, it was
because you can have a sex scene without being naked.
Well, I can put two and two together in my brain.
Well, you can, but
her husband,
you're also retarded.
He often does.
Is also going to chime in via right next to her on the couch.
I believe he's on the phone right now. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you guys
Hello.
Isn't that kind of odd to have people talking about your wife like
Could you guys
that?
clear something up for me? Kansas City now, is that in Kansas or is that in Missouri?
Okay,
or is it like half in Kansas and half? I mean, what's the deal with Kansas City anyway?
Here's the thing. Kansas City started in Kansas, and then it's sort of like near the state line, and it sort of spilled over into Missouri. But now the most of the Kansas City is in Missouri, but you can actually go to State Line Road, where if you stand in the middle of the road, you're half in Kansas and you're half in Missouri.
But if you're Kelly, you're just on the corner.
That's true.
Wow.
So,
okay. So where's like the
That's not what I
capital
said. I just
of it?
said you have to
Where
put it in
is
the corner.
that in the old side or the new side?
Now, the theater itself
I'm in
is
the rich side.
Yeah, the theater itself is in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri's the only place to be, and you picked a great venue to have The Victim at the AMC Film Fest. It's going to be this Saturday, 9:50 is when you can see The Victim, right?
Yes.
And we were just kind of briefly looking over some of the stuff you've done. You had a part in The Rock.
Yeah. I was the leader of the. I worked with Nick Cage. He was great, and he actually, I think it's one of his best performances. He carried that movie. Of course, Sean Connery was in it, and Ed Harris. But I take the SEAL team and take Nick Cage and Sean Connery, and it's my SEAL team that takes them onto the Rock and gets them up into the prison, and then I have that standoff with Ed Harris, and he's screaming at me to stand down, and I'm telling him I cannot follow that order, and I end up making the wrong choice, and we get all shot up and killed.
Yeah, maybe just thinking about it, maybe you should have followed the order. I don't know.
I've never seen that movie.
When you were filming it, you're like, hold on a second, maybe my character wouldn't do this.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I probably should have just gone ahead and put the weapons down, but I guess when you're in times of war, things like that don't happen.
Well, now, you've been in quite a few number of movies. I mean, just it's your IMDb just goes down. It's like about 3 pages long itself. I'm looking here just on the Wikipedia. You were in the film version of Grease.
Yeah, well, that was almost like an extra role because I was up for the role that Lorenzo Lamas played, who was the boyfriend that Olivia Newton-John hooks up with to make John Travolta jealous. And I didn't get that role, but I'd gone in on it like 2 or 3 times, and Randall Kleiser and Alan Carr, I think they felt sorry for me. So they threw me a day's work, and I ended up being the basketball player who John Travolta punches in the stomach. And there's a shot in this scene where Konecki's messing around with a frog, and the camera pans across me and another girl at the beginning of this scene, and that's me in Grease.
Well,
now wait a second. So you went from just a pan across scene to playing. This wasn't your next movie, but you were Kyle Reese in The Terminator.
Yeah, but there's lots of stuff in between. I mean, I don't have that in front of me.
That was a huge jump right there.
Well, it doesn't say Grease and then The Terminator on my IMDb pro list, does it?
He's looking at the Wikipedia.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
Or he calls it the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I don't know what the...
Yeah, no, it's like probably 10 years in between those two things, or 5 years, 6 years, something, yeah.
But these are some of the... And then Aliens, you're in The Abyss, that's a great movie. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And then we fast forward
an awesome movie.
to being in your own film, with the victim.
Yeah, well, it isn't really my own film, but I did write it, and I did direct it, and
you knew the producer.
And I'm the producer, but there were a lot of people that helped me out with it, Jennifer being one of them, and so it was kind of a difficult situation for me because we really just didn't really have a lot of time or a lot of money, so I had to say to myself, I'd never made a movie for less than $1 million before, and I decided I was going to make this movie because I was kind of inspired by Robert Rodriguez, and who made I did Planet Terror for him, and he did the Grindhouse movies, and he kind of was baiting me into directing a little bit, and so I told him I was going to do a Grindhouse movie, and eventually I got around to doing it, but I had such a small amount of money, I had to come up with, like, what am I going to do, you know? So it's just like exploitation. That's what Grindhouse is. Low budget, no budget, exploitation. I didn't have enough money for, like, special effects makeups. I couldn't do vampires. I couldn't do zombies. I didn't have enough money for cars and car crashes like Ron Howard did with his first movie. And so I figured sex, women, hot women, that's good. And my girlfriend is just sexy as all get out. And a friend of hers is Danielle Harris, who's sexy as all get out, and she's pretty well known by a lot of the audiences that go to the horror movies. And so I said, okay, I've got sex, and I've got I'll do some torture in there and some action. I can do a little bit of action, not very much. Can't afford to do it. And some dirty cops and drugs, and now throw in a serial killer. And I wrote it. And while I was writing it, it took me 3 weeks to write it, and it took 3 weeks to do pre-production on the movie, and I was writing it while we were doing pre-production. So yeah, we were looking for locations that were all in my head, so everybody was kind of following me around. And we shot it in 12 days, and we were doing 40 setups a day, which is where you pick up the camera from one place and then move it to another place for another shot, which is a lot. And it turned out really good, and I'm real happy with it.
And then you slept for like a week after you were done shooting.
And I think what the thing that you need to take away from all of it is that when you go to get gigs and your agent is negotiating on your behalf, you should be like, you know what, my sperm will eventually be what saves mankind from the rise of the machines, and that in itself.
That's worth something.
That's worth
$2
something,
million.
right? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you guys, you're breaking up on me real bad.
It wasn't that funny anyway. We will see you on Saturday, sir.
Now I can hear you. Okay. Yes, you will see me on Saturday. Have anybody who likes films come out to that film festival.